Welcome to lesson one, problem number two. Using order of operations, what we have to keep in mind is that there are certain rules that apply in math, and one of them is the order of operations. So I'm going to write down PEMDAS. Some teachers may teach it by having you recognize the word PEMDAS. Some may have you think of it as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What's really important is that this tells you the order in which you have to do operations in math. The P stands for parentheses. You always do parentheses first. The E stands for exponents. Exponents are that extra little number. Like, for example, if you had x to the second, the 2 would be the exponent. M and D, you can probably guess what that stands for, but M is for multiplication, D is for division. Then A is for addition, S is for subtraction. What's really important, though, about these last two categories is multiplication and division occurs left to right. So, in other words, if it happens that division comes before multiplication, as you're working from the left to the right, you would do division first. If multiplication comes first as you're working left to right, then you're going to do multiplication. Addition and subtraction, same thing. You're going to also work left to right. So keep that in mind as we do these problems. They often result in common errors. Okay, let's look at the first one. The first thing that we see is 6 divided by 3. Notice we're going to do 6 divided by 3 first because division comes before multiplication if it comes first as you're working left to right. So what we have here is simply 9 minus 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 5. Next, we're going to do the multiplication. So we're going to have 9 minus 10. So our final answer is 9 minus 10, or negative 1. Okay, let's look at the next one, B. All right, the first thing we have here is some parentheses. So we're going to leave that 4 squared as 4 squared. Then we're going to do the 16 minus 2, which becomes 14. And then we're going to do plus 3. Next thing, we've done the parentheses, so now we're going to work with the exponents. 4 squared means 4 times 4, so it's 16 minus 14 plus 3. 16 minus 14 is subtraction. That's going to come before the addition. So, and that's because we're working left to right. So 16 minus 4 is 2, and 2 plus 3 gives us 5 as our final answer for B. Okay, let's take a look at C. All right, the first thing we're going to do is the parentheses again. 8 minus 3 is 5. So we now have 5 squared plus 5 squared times 4. Okay, let's do our exponents next because we've taken care of the P, the parentheses. 25 plus 25 times 4. All right. Okay, so now it may seem and may be very tempting to seem like what you should do is 25 plus 25. Very common error, but you don't do addition before you finish your multiplication. So we're going to leave the first 25, and then we're going to say 25 times 4 is 100. So our final answer for problem C is 125. Let's go to D. All right, here we have in the numerator 5 plus 6 minus 8 is negative 2 squared over 45. Now, one thing that's a little confusing is a lot of times people forget that parentheses really means a group of things together that have to be done first. So everything in that numerator is considered to be a group. So it's almost like there's a big implied parentheses around that entire numerator. So just keep that in mind as we work this one through. All right, so we have 5 plus, be a little careful here, negative 2 squared right here. Remember, that is not just negative 2 times 2, it's negative 2 times negative 2. So negative times a negative is a positive. So we have 5 plus 4 over 45, which gives us 9 over 45, which is going to reduce to 1/5. And that is our final answer. Great job. See you next time.